Tommy, should we start with the win, or should we start with what happened at the very end to create that win?
I think you have to look at the game as a whole. I thought they started really brightly. Peterborough, Jimmy's got them working very, very hard for each other. They play a certain type of football which suits the players, suits the ground, suits everything, and I've no qualms about that. And they put their game plan on us, and we struggled to get our game going, really. But without really looking vulnerable, I didn't think. Jonah made a couple of saves in the first half, which that's what he does. So to get in at 0-0, I was pleased because we could do a little reshuffle. And I thought, when I put substitutes on the pitch, I always say to them, you've got to be better than what I'm bringing off. Not because I think he's not as good a player or anything. He's got to have a more positive effect than the bloke coming off fairly instantly. And all three subs today have been brilliant. I thought Ben Stevens was the catalyst for us changing. Theo kept finding him, and then he kept retaining the ball a bit better. So, delighted with a win. It's been a really good start of the season for us, and they'll get a couple of days off now, so I don't have to see them for a couple of days. That's good.
Is that reward, or is that because it's been 2-2?
Well, I did tell them when we've come back from, where do we go, Telford. I nearly give them that Monday off just as a bit of a rest from the travelling, but then I looked at the fixtures and realised with the 2 and 3 days, I said I'm going to give them a couple of days off. They've deserved it. They've worked so hard, through pre-season, and what we've seen there is that the first half performance, in my eyes, we can churn that out again on a Tuesday night in far-flung corners of Britain, when it's wet and windy and cold and rubbish and nobody there, one man and his dog. I know we can dig in and stay in the game, which we did. And then when you put your sparklers on and they do that, then that's why they are what they are.
Because they did come out really strongly. You did really strongly in the second half, and of course 6 minutes in, Josh with a shot that was almost it was almost as hard as the winner at the end.
Yeah, we work hard on our set pieces, and I'm delighted we've scored off a couple of them now. So we look a threat. We've got good ball delivery, and we've got decent blocks running in. We've got decent fellas running in there to attack the ball. So it doesn't surprise me that we've scored from a set play. But I thought both Josh and Adam Crowther in particular were excellent against a guy who's he's a Lynn legend as well as a Peterborough Sports ledge, but he's still a handful. He's a big lad. You not mind me saying that, but he knows what he's doing. He can play the game still, and for Adam to come and go toe to toe with him, and he did, I thought he deserves special praise. I thought. Yeah,
I think it's something sitting in the corner there. We looked; it was very noticeable. He's sort of almost a coming of age when you've got Michael Gash up against you and you win.
Well, you're not going to come against many players who've been as successful as he has at this level and around this level, above, and even further up than that. And at 21, Adam, what is that? Is his 6th game? He's done really well. We knew it was going to be a tough afternoon just in that area of the park, but I felt we were comfortable enough mobility-wise to be able to lose a defender, if you like. So when we switched to the 4 at the back instead of the flat 4 instead of the 3-5-2, I just thought it'd give us a lease of life, and Theo, Ben, Skip, Cam started getting on the ball a little bit more, and I thought we dominated the second half, to be fair, and I know it was a special goal that won it, but I wouldn't have minded it being a 2-yard tap in like we got on Saturday, to be honest with you. With all the shots we had 27 attempts at goal against Leamington, scored a goal. So the second half, I thought we were well worthy of it.
Come on to the big moment, and the goal must have been disappointing that you conceded.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, all I saw was it when it was bounced, and I realised there was nobody going towards the ball until I saw Jonah coming out. So I'll have to look back on the video. So what I do know is the free kick that led to that goal was given for a handball against Skip, I think, or Cameron, when he's closed the ball down and the ball's been cleared and hit his hand. And there's no way in the world he's trying to handle the ball. And it's like, just a couple of things today. I've learned a lot today about myself, and I've learned a lot about why people come to watch football matches, because I'm not sure they come for the right reasons.
So I thought that was getting thrown at you there. So before we get into that, the winner. You don't like picking out individuals, but that was some moment, wasn't it?
Josh knows what I think of him. He's had his stop-start sort of pre-season and beginning of the seasons, not through any fault of anybody, really. He had a tight hamstring, and then obviously his partner gave birth to his first child, so his whole life's been thrown upside down, you know what I mean? So he's had a lot going on. and he's missed 17 days of training, and that's why he's not starting the games. But listen, the guy is a fantastic talent, and if a ball drops to anybody from 30 yards in the 92nd minute, I want it to be him, because he can do that. That's not a fluke, and that's what I'm saying about people who came to I don't care who you support, you should clap for that, because that is way better than this level.
Different levels, but I mean, you've played with some awesome footballers. I mean, you mentioned Lettice occasionally, who is renowned for that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, he could do that.
But at this level, that's the sort of thing that you expect Shearer or Lettice to be able to do.
Yeah, you'd not see many of them. I mean, I've heard some of you guys and other people say it's the best goal they've ever seen. Well, I hope it gets the coverage because when you score a goal like that, you hope it's a winner. The best. I'm not going to say not too much more because he'll be banging on my door to start now.
I was going to ask if it's the best goal you've ever seen.
It's up there.
Of course, I've mentioned a couple of names that can do it.
It is, yeah. I mean, I played in the game where Matt scored the best goal I've seen, where he jinked and jived and stuck it in the top corner from about 40 yards. But he used to score goals like that every day in training. I'm not joking. It was joy to watch that. But listen, Josh has got his foibles, he's got his strengths and his weaknesses, and he knows what I think of him in both categories. So from that point of view,
that was his agent.
You're asking for a new deal. He knows I want to be fit and fast and strong as a team, and he's not quite there yet. And I think he's accepting of it begrudgingly, but I wouldn't want him any other way. I don't want my subs to be happy to be on the bench. I want them to be happy when they've gone on the pitch and affected the game. That's what he's done.
Highly charged atmosphere here today, and I think you felt a bit of it, didn't you?
A lot of it. I mean, I've been in the game a long time, and I'm aware of people having a bit of a go because they don't support your team and they want everything to happen on that day to go against you. I get that, but you'll hear different from the other side. But some of the things I've had to endure today in terms of the vitriolic language and the throwing of things again, liquids all over me, and death threats. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, we're playing at level 2 in the national pyramid of football. People should be coming to watch the football, not to come and just barrack and moan and call names from minute 1 to minute 91. It's just not right, And if when we score like that, and I go, "You're not going to clap that?" That's what I said to them. So you should be clapping that, lads. That's a hell of a goal, And all hell breaks loose, and you think, well, I've listened to you for 92 minutes, giving me real dog's abuse, and I mean dog's abuse, wishing unmeasurable and unfathomable things on me, even on the way home. So, yeah, it's stuck. It's hit a nerve, if I'm being honest with you. I'm a bit disillusioned, because that's my last 2 away games. I don't get paid enough money to take that abuse, and I don't need it, to be honest with you. So from that point of view, I love my job, and I love doing what I do, but that, it's like walking a bleeding firing line. It's not right. And listen, I'm not having a go at his football club or anybody who works at it. It's punters. That's what it is. And if they're allowed to act and talk like that, as they did at Telford, it's wrong. It's wrong. I wouldn't want a manager coming to our football club and being heckled and abused verbally and possibly physically like that. It's not right. It's not what we do it for.
Did you ask the stewards or police or anything, or did they just...
Well, no, I haven't asked anybody. I said, you're
in a difficult position.
The problem is, you're saying if you say anything to anybody, they tell you that you're goading them while you're reacting to them. Yeah. Well, hold on. I mean, there's got to be a limit there. Yeah. I genuinely believe I've got no problem with calling me Baldy or Geordie or whatever it is, Mouthy, whatever they want to call me what they want. But keep it to the football. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's what we're there for, all of us. But they're not. I'm saying some of them lads wouldn't have watched any of the game. They spent the whole game screaming in my left ear. That's why I sat with my back to them.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, not good.
Will you be taking it further?
You've got to tell people about it. And I'm not. Again, I'll be the one who's vilified about this, because they'll say that I was classless and I reacted because we scored a goal. Well, isn't that what you do? You react when you score a goal, don't you? Yeah. So you can see that one. Yeah.
You've seen us.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to be pushing it any further, but referee needs to know about things like this, because he didn't get it. He didn't get that.
Josh, what can we say? Just talk us through that winner.
Yeah, well, I think being sat there, I was sat there for quite a while. I only come on for the last 10 minutes, and I see the pitch is quite small here, so I knew when I come on I was gonna definitely get at least one shot off. You know what I mean? And it fell perfectly for me. And yeah, I just see the keeper, because the keeper was kind of outside of his goal, but to this side, the right. So I've managed to hit it perfectly, and it's flew in. So it was nice.
Is that, would you say, I mean, you've scored some good goals in your career,
Yeah.
but would you say that is probably the best?
Well, yeah, I've scored some. To be fair, I've been quite lucky. I've scored quite a lot of good goals, but in terms of occasion, and we needed it, I think, for the team and to keep what we're doing going in terms of winning. Yeah, definitely, for sure.
I mean, it's not just about the way, it's the technique as well for that finish. You know.
Yeah. I think I've got in the locker. I know I can do it. I've done it in a lot harder games, a lot better games, and today was probably a game that wouldn't have suited me in terms of playing, and the pitch wasn't great. But I knew when I come on, I get told all the time, make that impact, what I can do, and yeah, I've done it today, which was great.
Would it be fair to say that perhaps a little bit of that goal has come out of frustration as well? The fact that you haven't started.
Yeah. Well, 100%. Yeah. I think it's been tough for me. I think obviously, listen, I'm more than happy the boys are winning. It's brilliant. But obviously, as a player yourself, and what I know I can do and what I know I can bring, I think it's hard to sit there and to, it's been 6 games that is today that I've not started. So, but listen, I'll keep doing what I need to do, and I'm sure I'll get back in.
I mean, you're not going to, do you go knocking on the manager's door now?
Yeah, I'd probably do a bit too much, to be fair. Yeah, and he probably gets frustrated with me. But yeah, that's just the way I am. I'm a bit like that. Listen, I think when for me, this is not talking out of term or anything, but I know where I can get to. I know where I want to get to. And of course, to be sat there it's not what I want to be doing. I want to be playing. I want to be doing things like I've done today. I feel like I can do it as much as anyone. So. Yeah, he would probably, if it comes to Friday and I'm not in the team again, I'll probably have a conversation with him for sure.
I mean, looking back at the game as a whole, this was a tough game, wasn't it?
Oh, man, I think they're a really good side. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be, whether they're up there or not, I don't know, but they'll definitely, give themselves a good chance. Like, these are the games. I think this is what determines where you finish as a team. I know everyone says listen to 6 games, and I completely understand that, but they're the hardest games. When you're playing on our pitch and you can play and it's all nice and pretty, these are the games where you have to slug it out and you have to go and try and little bits of quality, whether that's a bit of a fluke, whatever. But they're the things that everyone plays a part. Not just the 11 that start. I think everyone needs to come in and chip in, because especially when you play on Saturday and it's Monday today, and yeah, it's difficult, and they're a good side.
I mean, Tommy has alluded to the 3 substitutions. Obviously, Ben to start with, and then you came on, and
Zane,
Zane came on, and you've all had an impact on the result, haven't you?
Well, that's it. That's what you need a squad for. Do you know what I mean? I think you switch any of us in from any of the boys in there, I think they'd do the same if they were coming off the bench. So. Listen, it's important to have that. I think if you're going to go a whole season and you want to try and beat everybody, you know what I mean, you need to have the players to come off the bench and be strong and be able to do exactly. Because listen, I've known the gaffer a long time. I know how he wants to do things and how he wants to play. So for me coming on, I know what I've got to do. You know what I mean? It's pretty simple, and I'm sure same with Walks and same with Ben when they come on.
When you connected with that ball, did you think straight away?
Yeah,
that's it.
I knew. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was perfect. The way it bounced, and as soon as I hit it, I knew I started running away. I think so. Yeah, definitely.
And the manager says you do that in training quite a bit as well.
Yeah, well, I'm not. This is not being cocky, but everyone's quite surprised by it, and I don't know why. To be honest, I do it quite. Honestly, I actually don't know why they're a bit surprised, but yeah, and all the boys are like, couldn't believe it. I was like, well, I've done that yesterday. Do you know what I mean? But no, listen, that's the way it is. But it was a great finish, and hopefully many more.